All right. I'll call this meeting to order. Board Secretary will now do the roll call.
Chair Mejia? Here. Vice Chair Nyorbe?
Here.
Secretary Treasurer Rawlings?
Present.
Director Almeida?
Here.
Director Angeles? Director Kemp?
Here.
Director Sutton?
Here.
We have a quorum.
All right. Now Elizabeth Brown will present the December 2025 and January 2026 Employees of the Month.
Good afternoon, Chair Mejia, members of the board, Mr. McDonald, and all others assembled here today. I am Elizabeth Brown, Executive Director and Vice President of Organizational Development and Administration. In support of LBT's strategic priority of fostering employee engagement, it is my pleasure to acknowledge the Employees of the Month for December 2025 and January 2026. The Employees of the Month for December 2025 are Humberto Mendoza, Luis Hernandez, and Victoria Romero. Bus operator Humberto Mendoza has been with LBT for 24 years, and this is his second Employee of the Month nomination. He is currently assigned to LBT2. Humberto provides reliable service to customers by arriving to work early every day and arriving and departing on time to bus stops. He consistently demonstrates his professionalism by prioritizing safety and timeliness for customers. Utility worker Luis Hernandez has been with LBT for 2 years, and this is his first Employee of the Month nomination. He is currently assigned to LBT2. Luis recently stepped up as the LBT2 utility backup lead and has excelled in the role, consistently communicating with supervisors, proactively addressing concerns, and ensuring buses are cleaned and fueled nightly. His work demonstrates LBT's values of operating with integrity by his leadership, dependability, and transparency. Victoria Romero currently serves as a community relations coordinator and has been with LBT for 3 years. She began with LBT as a community relations intern in 2022 and has since been promoted into her current role. This is her first Employee of the Month nomination. In her position, she plays a key role in building and strengthening relationships with customers, with a focus on Spanish-speaking audiences while promoting LBT services and mission. Her proactive communication and follow-through help keep projects moving efficiently and advances overall department success. The Employees of the Month for January 2026 are Jose Solario, David Sanchez, and Oscar Sanchez. Bus operator Jose Solario has been with LBT for 8 years, and this is his first Employee of the Month nomination. He is currently assigned to LBT1. Jose consistently arrives early to his 4 a.m. yard pullout time, ensuring that the first route starts on time, recognizing that service reliability begins with him. He also provides excellent customer services, focusing on safety and on-time performance. Jose represents LBT with professionalism and pride. Mechanic David Sanchez has been with LBT for 3 years, and this is his first Employee of the Month nomination. He is currently assigned to LBT2. David is a team player, always willing to stay late and help when needed. He does an excellent job maintaining the service truck, which provides road maintenance to our fleet, helping keep bus exchanges low. David demonstrates a strong work ethic and communicates effectively to identify the best outcome for maintaining safe, uninterrupted service. Oscar currently serves as a quality assurance supervisor and has been with LBT for 28 years. He was Employee of the Year in 2010, and this is his 5th Employee of the Month nomination. Oscar began with LBT as a mechanic, advanced to lead mechanic, and was later promoted to maintenance supervisor, a position he held until transitioning to his current role since 2016. He brings extensive knowledge in energy fleet technologies, ensuring both new and existing buses are maintained at the highest standard. Oscar is currently leading the articulated bus rehabilitation, ensuring they meet quality, safety, and performance standards. His quality control, communication, and attention to detail help protect LBT's fleet.
Hi, my name is Victoria Romero. I'm a community relations coordinator and I've been with LBT for 3 years. My favorite part about working at Long Beach Transit is getting to interact with our customers and community and getting to share all the fun things we do here at Long Beach Transit. I started at LBT as an intern and have been growing my career here since, so it's really rewarding getting to be Employee of the Month.
My name is Jose Solorio. I've been working for Long Beach Transit for 8 years and 4 months, and I'm a bus driver. My favorite part to work in Long Beach Transit is I can help the community better. I'm very grateful to be Employee of the Month. I never been, so I just open to whatever it come next.
My name is David Sanchez. I'm a B mechanic for Long Beach Transit, and I've been working here for 3 years. My favorite part about working at Long Beach Transit is learning something new every single day and just working with my coworkers. I'm honored to be Employee of the Month, and I'm grateful to be part of this Long Beach Transit team.
Hi, my name is Oscar Sanchez Orozco. I'm one of the maintenance quality supervisors. I've been with the company for 28 years. My favorite part about working in Long Beach Transit is being part of a team that works hard to keep our transit system safe and reliable. I am happy and very grateful to be nominated Employee of the Month. I take pride in overseeing our maintenance work to ensure it meets high standards and being part of this beautiful company. Thank you.
Thank you to all of the employees of the month for being dedicated to connecting communities, moving people, making everyday life better. Thank you.
Are there any public comment on this item? Seeing none, any discussion from the board? Director Kemp.
Yeah, thank you, Madam Chair. I just wanted to take a moment to say thank you to all the employees of the month, and thank you for the presentation. My favorite part of the meeting, outside of the numbers, Lisa. It's great, especially the videos, getting a chance to see the people who make Long Beach Transit what it is, especially those who are front and center to the public, and those who maintain our buses, keep them safe and keep them clean. As a board member, I'm really grateful for the people who make Long Beach Transit great. Outside of the mucky mucks, these are the people without whom it would be nothing. And so I just want to thank you again for presenting this every month. and thank them for the work that they do.
Any additional board comment? All right. Well, I also want to say thank you. It's so amazing to see all the incredible work and dedication that our employees are doing for Long Beach Transit. So thank you so much. And thank you so much, Elizabeth, for the presentation. Moving on. Now, we're moving on to public comment. At this time, I invite members of the public who want to address the board of any matters that don't appear on the agenda. Is there any public comment?
Chair, we have a public comment from Maruo Varela.
Okay.
That one? There it is. Good afternoon. Stand back here. Good afternoon, directors and Mr. McDonald. My name is Mauro Varela. I am the Vice President of ATU 1277, and I represent those lovely people sitting over there and the ones that we just saw up on the TV. I just wanted to make sure that the board was aware that back in December 18th, we met with Mr. McDonald and his team, and we agreed that we would be moving forward with a mentorship and possibly an apprenticeship in the future. So I just wanted to say thank you to Mr. McDonald for making that commitment, and wanted to make sure that the board was aware of our future endeavors. So again, thank you, Mr. McDonald. Thank you to your team, and can't wait to work on this with you. So thank you.
Thank you so much. Is there any additional public comment? Okay. Seeing none, we're moving on to Ken McDonald will present the President and CEO report.
Good afternoon, Chair Mejia, members of the board, and all who are assembled here today. I am Kenneth McDonald, President and CEO at Long Beach Transit. And today my monthly agency report would highlight some of our accomplishments and ongoing activities centered around our strategic priorities. As I've stated before, our strategic priorities are improve safety and service quality, exercise financial accountability, foster employee engagement, enhance customer experience, and promote community and industry focus. Before I want to get started, I want to say, if any one of you all, I want to recognize Victoria Romero. If any one of you all ever been to the company parades and you heard the great music and what's going on, free of charge, Victoria is our DJ. So I always recognize her when we get there because she gets the parade pumping. And so we didn't put that in there, that she's the one that gets the parade pumping. Victoria, great job. And that you deserve it. On December 10th, 2025, LBT held its annual employee recognition event, which includes honoring 3 past Employee of the Month with the distinction of Employee of the Year. The event also recognized employees for 1, years of service, 2, safety, and 3, perfect attendance. Board members have a copy of the bi-monthly employee newsletter in front of them, which is distributed to employees at the events and highlights their recognition. So if you look at this document in front of you, it outlines a lot of what happened and what at that event and the employees who were recognized at that annual event. These employees up here are the 2025 Employees of the Year. They are bus operator Jesus Cortez. Bus operator Cortez has been with LBT for 6 years. He received his first Employee of the Month nomination in March of 2025 and consistently demonstrates professionalism, patience, and a strong commitment to customer service. Each day he arrives early and ready to work, prioritizing safety and adhering to the LBT's policies and roadway regulation. Jesus' day-to-day commitment and positive customer interaction exemplify what it means to lead by example, both on the road and within the team. In 2025, he proudly represented the agency at the 5-Star Rodeo, earning 3rd place overall and 1st place in the pre-trip competition. Mechanic Marlon Perez. Mechanic Perez has been with LBT for 27 years and has been nominated Employee of the Month 7 times. He consistently ensures buses thoroughly serviced and ready for daily operation, taking pride in the quality and safety of his work. Marlon maintains an efficient pace, demonstrates strong attention to details, and follows maintenance standard with precision. He actively shares his technical knowledge with co-workers, supports team productivity, and leads by example through his reliability and commitment. His dedication plays an important role in keeping LBT's fleet operating safely for our customers. And I just want to say something about Marlon when he got this award. I have been doing this since I became CEO, and each year we recognize Employee of the Year. We've been doing that before I got here, but I had never seen anyone with so much passion when he was given this award. This guy almost broke down at the time. I had never seen that kind of passion come out of an employee who was recognized. I think you can feel it with his presence, how he feels about the work that he does. So I was really impressed with Marlon when he was given the award. So congratulations to you again, sir. And the 3rd employee is Communication and Marketing Manager, Aranza Chavarrio. Aranza has been with LBT for 4 years and has been nominated Employee of the Month once. She has consistently demonstrated strong leadership across communication strategy, digital engagement, brand stewardship, and media relations. In 2025, she played a key role in LBT's partnership with the California Transit Association to host the largest annual conference in its history, elevating LBT's visibility statewide. She has driven strategic improvements in communication and community engagement, contributing to more than 20% growth in organic social media presence over the past 2 years. Since leading the community relations team, she has fostered a culture of creativity and innovation to advance engagement with both internal and external customers. Again, please join me in congratulating the Employees of the Year. Since 1970, Long Beach Transit has celebrated retired employees whose leadership, dedication, and lasting contributions have strengthened the agency and its operations. Last month, on December 4th, we inducted another 9 employees into our LBT's Hall of Fame. Here we have Norris Price, a bus operator with 22 years of service, Melody Williams, a bus operator with 30 years of service, Carrie Sable, manager of information technology, who spent 27 years with Long Beach Transit, Ronaldo Grepo, a bus operator with 25 years of service, Monique King, operator with 24 years of service, Patrick Farm, our executive director of IT, who had 23 years with Long Beach Transit, Elizabeth Balden, who was an operator with 22 years of service, Thomas Collins, another bus operator with 16 years of service, and Romy Watkins III, bus transit maintenance mechanic and body and paint shop lead, who had 11 years of service. This event served as a meaningful recognition of achievement and the agency's proud history. I thank our staff, my executive assistant Heidi Valdez, for organizing the event, and our board for their participation in and support of this important annual tradition. thank you on behalf of the graduates. The Congestion Mitigation and Air Quality Improvement, or CMAQ program, is a highly competitive federal funding program designed to support transportation projects that reduces emission, improve air quality, and enhance regional mobility in non-attainment and maintenance areas. Through this program, Long Beach Transit has successfully secured $15.1 million in CMAQ funding, representing a major and first of its kind award to the agency. We had never gotten a CMAQ award before. This achievement reflects an extraordinary level of technical expertise, strategic planning, and coordination across the organization, and positions LBT as a strong and credible competitor for future large-scale grant opportunities. The CMAQ grant directly advances LBT's mission by supporting projects that will benefit our customers, the broader Long Beach community, and visitors attending the LA 28 Olympic and Paralympic Games, while also delivering long-term environmental and mobility benefits. I want to thank Marisol Barajas, where is Marisol, for her exceptional contribution and leadership on behalf of LBT for getting this grant. Thank you very much for your efforts. I am pleased to announce that Lee Berner, is Mr. Berner, there he is, LBT Executive Director and VP of Transit Service Delivery and Planning, has been appointed as the Secretary of the Transit Board Member Executive Committee, an APTA, on behalf of his appointment as a board member at the Access Services, the paratransit service provider in the greater Los Angeles community or county. Mr. Berner was appointed by Chair Denise Figueroa to fill the secretary role following a recently committee leadership transition. The secretary role is critical in the effective functioning of the Transit Board Members Executive Committee, supporting continuity, coordination, and strong governance across APTA's Transit Board leadership. Lee brings valuable experience, perspective, and commitment to collaborative leadership, and we look forward to his contribution at this national level. Please join me in congratulating Mr. Lee Berner on his appointment as Secretary of the APTA Transit Board Members Executive Committee. Congratulations. I would also like to inform the board that I have been appointed to the Executive Committee of the American Public Transportation Association. APTA's governing body include approximately 130 members, of which 16 members are selected to serve on the Executive Committee, for which I was appointed, and provide strategic leadership and policy direction for the association. Appointment to the Executive Committee reflects peer recognition and provides Long Beach Transit with a direct voice in national level transit discussion and decision making. The APTA Committee held its board retreat this past weekend, bringing together leadership to align on key policies for the year ahead. Primarily, areas of focus on the retreat included transit funding, particularly long-term federal sustainability and competitiveness, safety and security, including emerging risk and best practices, and also agencies focus on IT security, because we have always looked at security from the transit vehicle perspective, but now transit agencies are being attacked from all angles in terms of IT. So that is becoming more and more an effort that we have to pay attention to. And then transit value messaging was the third focus, where ensuring that a clear and consistent narrative on the importance of public transportation to our present governing body, the federal government, to the communities and the economy, and the economy and our impact on the environment. Participation at this level helps ensure Long Beach Transit remain informed, engaged, and well positioned at the national policy discussion level. Between December and January, the LBT team participated in 3 parades, way for the DJ, including the Belmont Shore Christmas Parade, the Daisy Lane Parade, and the Martin Luther King Jr. Parade this last weekend. LBT takes pride in participating in these events with our employees and the Long Beach community, fostering employee engagement and highlighting LBT services. And finally, in December, LBT also teamed up with Helen Sanders, Cat Paws, a local nonprofit organization, to organize a community-wide non-perishable pet and human food donation. Community members and LBT employees were invited to bring in donation to the Transit and Visitors Information Center and LBT corporate offices, serving as public drop-off for location. Together, LBT donated over 250 pounds of non-perishable pet and human food for the Long Beach community table. Thank you to all who participated in this event. With that, I conclude my report for this month. Thank you.
Is there any public comment? Seeing none. All right. Is there any discussion from the board? Yes, Director Angeles.
Again, wanted to just focus on Victoria's DJ abilities, but actually more importantly, the fact that she was an intern and then basically now has a permanent job. Is there a way that we can really highlight that as a sort of workforce development, that she is sort of the poster child for that ability to be an intern and then all of a sudden work for the organization?
Started a couple of years ago. I started the intern because I was an intern when I first started my career. So when I got here, I started this intern program. And we have a number of employees who have come from internship to, so Victoria is one of the many, but we have a number of them who came from the internship program and became full-time employees. That was the intent of this, and it's working out. So we can look at how we can highlight the folks who started as interns and are now employees in the organization. I'd look at that and see what we can do about it. Yeah, thanks for bringing that.
Any additional discussion from the board? All right, seeing none, thank you so much, Ken. And then I'm going to pass it to our Vice Chair, Raul Honoré, who has a report.
Thank you, Chair. Good evening. Before I begin, I just want to share that I serve as a member of LA Metro's Gateway Cities Council, as well as this board. Anyway, in that dual role, I look for opportunities where local transit operators and Metro come together to learn from one another. The council has recently conducted similar line rides with Linwood Breeze and Norwalk Transit. So this work continues in the Gateway region. And although you can't see it, I think there's a picture. And although you can't see it in the photos, I was proudly sporting my LBT shades and a Metro backpack. So anyway, on December 12th, Metro and Long Beach Transit hosted a joint line ride to experience service from a rider perspective and to strengthen collaboration. We started off at Willow Station, traveled on the Metro A line to the PCH station, then transferred to LBT line 172 to Cherry Avenue. I should mention that as we walked from PCH station to stop 172, someone observed, and I think many of us observed, that 172 stop is not located very close to the PCH station. We learned that because PCH is a state route and that any access or infrastructure improvements in this corridor require multi-agency and state level coordination. I did not know that. I digress. Back to the tour. LBT staff then guided us to line 22 to Downtown Transit Mall. The tour also included an on-site presentation on Willow Station Mobility Hub improvements in preparation for LA 28. And while the planning behind the tour was extensive, the experience itself was seamless. LBT staff guided us through the ride, providing real-time operational insights and sharing upcoming improvements to the transit mall. A key takeaway for me, and I hope for all the participants, was the value of cross-agency engagement and collaboration in strengthening regional transit experiences for riders. I want to thank Long Beach Transit leadership and staff, including Jen, Marisol, Austin, Latrice, and Arancha for their coordination and thoughtful hosting. I also thank our CEO for supporting this opportunity to showcase LBT's work, and my colleagues at Metro, Dolores, Monica, Matt, Danny, and Andy for their participation and support. In closing, this tour simply reinforced the shared commitment between Metro and Long Beach Transit to deliver high quality transit service and highlighted how continued collaboration can strengthen regional alignment and rider experience. This concludes my report. Thank you.
Great, thank you. Are there any public comments? Being none, any discussion from the board? All right, well, I just want to say thank you so much, Director Norve. I know you have done a lot of work with Metro and just bringing that and that collaboration. Definitely do appreciate it, and more to come, especially with the Olympics coming. All right. Now moving on to the consent calendar. All matters including on the consent calendar are considered routine by LBT Board of Directors and will enact by one motion. There will be no separate discussion on these items unless a member of the Board of Directors or public so requests, in which the event matter shall be removed from the consent calendar and considered as a separate item. Do I hear a motion to approve the consent calendar?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
All right, call for a vote.
Chair Mejia,
Aye.
Vice Chair Norve,
Aye.
Secretary Treasurer Rawlings,
Aye.
Director Almeida,
Aye.
Director Angeles,
Aye.
Director Kemp,
Aye.
Director Sutton.
Aye.
The motion carries. The consent calendar is approved. Now Kim Lee will present agenda item 12.
Good afternoon. Can you hear me? Good. Good afternoon, Chair Mejia, Mr. McDonald, members of the board, and who are assembled here today. My name is Kim Lee. I'm the manager of Transit Customer Amenities for Long Beach Transit. And I am before you today to seek your approval for the procurement and installation contract for the Cherry Avenue, Atlantic Avenue, Long Beach Boulevard Bus Stop Improvement Project. So bus stops play a critical role in public transportation by providing safe conditions and safe location for waiting customers to board buses. Amenities at the bus stops provide customers with seating, shelter, lighting, real-time information, and other information to enhance the customer experience. So LBT categorizes the bus stops into 6 tiers based on a set of criteria such as transfer point, ridership, distance between stops, and major trip destinations. The bus stop tier classification helps determine the types of bus stop amenities to be installed at those locations. So this project will upgrade bus stop amenities at 3 corridors within the city of Long Beach. And so those corridors are Cherry Avenue, Atlantic Avenue, and Long Beach Boulevard. Cherry Avenue, Atlantic, and Long Beach Boulevard are among LBT's highest ridership and busiest corridors, serving routes 21, 22, 23, 131, 61, and 51. These corridors will see upgrades that include 33 bus shelters that has in-shelter seating and solar lighting, 83 standalone bus seats, 56 real-time electronic signs, and 40 pole-mounted LED solar lights. In total, 157 bus stops will receive some combination of upgraded amenities in accordance with our bus stop tier classification system. These bus stop upgrades will enhance the customer experience and lead to customer satisfaction within the LBT system. Installation is anticipated to be completed in fall 2026. So LBT have issued an invitation for bid to 37 firms and received 3 qualified bids. Servitech Electric Incorporated, which is based in Norwalk, California, was the lowest responsive and responsible bidder. The LBT procurement department conducted a price analysis and found the pricing proposed by Servitech to be fair and reasonable. So staff is requesting LBT's board of directors to authorize the president and CEO to enter into a contract with Servitech Electric Inc. for the procurement and installation of bus stop shelters, seats, lighting, and electronic signs for the Cherry Avenue, Atlantic Avenue, Long Beach Boulevard bus stop improvement project at a cost of $2,629,977 with a 7.5% contingency of $197,248 for a total authorization amount not to exceed $2,827,225. And that concludes my presentation. Thank you.
Thank you. Do I hear a motion to approve the recommendation?
So move.
Do I have a second?
Second, Anua.
Are there any public comments? Seeing none. Any discussion from the board? Okay. Director Campton and Director Rowling.
Sit back from the microphone. It's hot. So thank you very much for your report and appreciate the details. I just had a question about advertising for these shelters. Maintain the opportunity for our marketing to advertise for.
These shelters, these bus stops currently do not. Advertising is a separate agreement managed by the city.
So they don't have, I guess I'm from what I saw in the renderings, do they have?
They have the capability to,
for that?
yeah, they have
Okay.
the capability to provide ad or poster panels that can potentially have advertising, but these do not. We don't plan to provide advertising at these locations.
Is that standard? Do they have the other shelters come with that, or is that something that comes out of like the marketing budget that if you wanted to marketing that type of structure added shelters?
So if we can bring back the one that shows the shelters, the way that the shelters are designed with that capability, but we don't have a program right now. So this shelter, when you see the poles in the end, you can install those units, those display on the where you see the end poles. But we don't have that program at this. But it has the capability for us to do that.
Understood. So typically that would come from a marketing budget.
Yeah. Yes.
Thank you, Chair, but I had the same question as Director Kemp, so clears that up for me.
Is there any? Okay. Sorry.
Thank you, Kim, for your report. There's no mention of install locations. Is that because you're still, LBT is still trying to figure out where they're going to go according to the criteria?
The 3 corridors.
No, I know, but I'm talking about the specific stops.
There are specific stops.
So they're going to be essentially replacing what's already there.
In some locations, replacement. In some locations, new amenities that never existed.
Okay. And how will high need stops be prioritized or determined by staff?
LBT has a 6-tier stop classification system.
Okay.
So in some locations, I mean, these rankings are based on a set of criteria like ridership, transfer point, destination, major destinations.
Okay, I'm simply asking because I have I always have in mind the geographic equity issue where some areas that are high income have the best stops and the best amenities, and other areas that are low socioeconomic areas, neighborhoods don't. So that's where I'm driving at. I'm hoping LBT considers and has a fair way of installing these stops or upgrading the stops, regardless of where folks live, regardless of the income in that area.
Thank you. Yeah, so these three corridors, Cherry, Atlantic, and Long Beach, span the entire city of Long Beach boundary from Ocean all the way north. And so they cross, different neighborhoods. One of the criteria, again, for our bus stop classification does include demographics.
Director Kim.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Ken, I wonder if you could just help us understand, because I have I have the exact same question, which I didn't have before. I think it's a good one. How are the shelter amenities selected such that the right and most needy folks are getting best shelter and comfort?
We need to answer that one. So we look at the couple of things: ridership, the transfer point, the distance between stops. Is it a major destination? Those are things that we look at first in terms of identifying the type of stops. The other thing that drives that, is the property. If we have the space to put a bus stop at a location, so if a shelter, so if the space is there, we look at a shelter. If it is not there, then we go down the tier to when we get to the point that all you have is a seat at the location. But it begins with the number of passengers that are transferring at the point. That's one of the first things that we begin with, the usage of the location.
Very much. That's helpful. And for these three corridors, which span the whole city, have those been determined yet? Yeah.
So
Yeah.
this project will only be installing bus stop amenities on Cherry, Atlantic, and Long Beach.
And those specific stops that are going to get these amenities have been determined by the process that's described.
Yes, and so in total, there are about 157 bus stops within these three corridors that will get amenities upgrades.
Is that something, Vice Chair, that maybe you'd like to see where these bus stops are? Is that
Well, I'd love to see every stop with the highest quality amenities, but I know that that's impossible. And for 3 years now, some of us on the board have been asking for upgrades or trash cans or seats or shading. And there are many stops in the city of Long Beach that do not have them. So that was kind of my question of, I hope that we're considering many factors and not just the specific neighborhood where the stop is at. Because I'm familiar with 61, I'm familiar with 21, and you're right, they go through different neighborhoods, but there are corners or stops that are not adequate. And it's not fair for a grandmother who's carrying groceries with her 3 grandchildren to be standing there and no shade and no seats. So those are the things that concern me. And I think some of us on the board, especially me, have expressed that in the past. So I hope we can really look at that when we're working on these corridors.
and Madam Chairman?
Yeah.
And I appreciate that. I haven't been here for 3 years, but I certainly don't ride the buses as much as you do. I don't know that any of us do behind this rail. So I appreciate your insight specifically because you have been diligent about experiencing the transit operations here. And and I think with more credibility than I have, have expressed concern. So I give credence to it. I wonder though, as directors and Mr. CEO, I'd love your, advice and guidance on this. Beyond the expression of our concern, with a hope that that concern be recorded and applied to the process, what opportunity for scrutiny might we have on this specifically, for example, without forestalling the progress? I understand a lot of work has been done. We're at the approval stage, and I don't want to stand in the way of that. But it seems to me like there may be an opportunity here as a follow-up to this presentation for us to receive some information that provides us the opportunity to sort of scrutinize. I'm looking at you, Vice Chair, because you're going to know better than I do. Are these in line with the needs that and concerns that you've expressed, and then give us an opportunity to give feedback to the CEO? Is that something that we could do, Ken?
On this project, that would be very difficult unless we decide not to move the project forward, because we already have laid out the locations, and the bid was based on that. So if we go back and change it, we're going to have to do a change order. Where that takes us could be a problem, but I think from what I'm hearing, if we wanted to do that in the future, we could bring that forward, saying, here are the stops and here's where we're going to do this as we go forward.
No, I appreciate that. I probably was inartful in my articulation of what I'm talking about. I don't want to stand in the way of this. I plan to vote for it so that it can move forward. And I think, what I'm asking is it possible for us, if the sites have been selected based on the sophisticated tier program that we have, and we then see the sites that have been selected that are going to receive these tiered amenities, such that we can take a look at it, scrutinize it, and give you feedback without stopping the progress that's going on here. For example, if we wanted to, if there was an opportunity somewhere along the line to say, okay, well, you got all these up and down these streets here, but you don't have one in front of, this house that has, everybody's in a wheelchair, but you don't have, something to keep them out the rain. And Raul just happens to know that because his cousin lives there. So, like, if we can scrutinize it and then give advice on funding going forward, then I think that would.
Project, yeah, the project outlay could be given to the board because it's no. We have already bid it. We have the documents on which stop is going to be impacted. So yes, that could be shared with the board. Yeah, we'll get him to get it together, and we send it get it to the board, and get it to Jen, and then we can get it to here's the stops and where, because all of that has been identified already to be able to bid, to get a bid price.
Yeah, and so maybe just something simple with a dot that says, shelter, pole, bench. This, so we have a color.
It's already already outlined, because we had to do that for him to be able to bid on the shelter where things are happening. So yes, we can make that available.
Great, and I know Director Sutton and
Thank you. Is there a criteria that we use in selection of locations? For example, number of people that use this particular intersection,
yes,
that kind of thing.
Yeah, as I mentioned earlier, we ridership, the transfer point, is it a major destination? A big issue with shelters is if there's a transfer, a lot of transfers on there, that we try to make sure there's a shelter, because people are moving in different directions. The distance between stops is another one. One of the major things that we have in this city is when you go to put a bus shelter, is the space to put a bus shelter, so that if someone is in a wheelchair, they can get into. So a lot of times where you see there might be a bench and you think, well, why couldn't we put a shelter? It just doesn't have the space. So getting the property to be able to do that is a big part of what sometimes dictates whether it's a shelter or not. But each of these we don't just pick any one. We look at the criteria and then we come up. And I think we went through the criteria that we do on how we list them.
Yes, so I just wanted to remind the board that Ms. Lee actually gave a presentation 2 or 3 years ago, which laid out the proposal, so I can resend that to the board, because it did specify our criteria for those different tiers that you saw.
Yeah, we had this question before, and Kim came up and did a whole presentation of how we go through this. So we could send it out again of what it is. She had a complete presentation of how we collect bus stops and how it's implemented across the city.
Any other discussion from the board?
Move to approve.
Okay.
Yeah, I think there was already a motion.
It was already a
Was it?
motion and a second.
Correct.
Yeah.
Call the question. I'm sorry, Director Angela said. No, Director Angela might have a question.
No, I just want to just comment in the sense that I think in terms of board members, will be a part of our legacy. I think there's one thing that the constituency group always focus on is services and all the things that we do right. But the one thing that I think we hear a lot about that's so visible is the bus stops. And certainly me voting for this item will be something that I take pride in the fact that if I leave anything behind, having served here, I could look on and tell my grandchildren that I voted for these bus shelters. So thank you for your work.
Yeah, I just want to say a few things. I think based on the discussion of the board, I think we all want to see more bus shelters, more bus stops that are, well lit and have good shelter. And I'm very excited about voting for this. We need more of it, and we'll work on getting more of it for our communities. So we'll call for a vote.
Chair Mejia,
Aye.
Vice Chair Narve,
Aye.
Secretary Treasurer Rawlings,
Aye.
Director Almeida,
Aye.
Director Angeles.
Aye. We can also name one of those after you, Abigail.
Director Kemp.
Aye.
Director Sutton.
Aye.
Motion carries. The recommendation to authorize President and CEO to enter into a contract with Silvertech Electric for the procurement and installation of bus shelters, seats, solar lighting, and electric signs for the Cherry Avenue, Atlantic, and Long Beach Boulevard bus stops improvement projects at a cost of $2,629,977 with a 7.5 contingency of $127,248 for a total authorization amount not to exceed $2,827,225 is approved. Now, again, Kim Lee will present agenda item 13.
Hi again, I'm Kim Lee, Manager of Transit Customers Amenities at Long Beach Transit. And this item is to request the board to approve the architectural and engineering design services contract for the Transit Gallery Improvement Project. Okay. So the the Transit Gallery, as you all know, is located on First Street between Pine Avenue and Long Beach Boulevard, and it serves as the hub for LBT's major routes. Other regional transit operators also stop there. And so these Transit Gallery consists of 8 bus shelter bays labeled A to H, and it's next to the Transit and Visitor Information Center, or TVIC. The Transit Gallery Improvement Project focuses on enhancing digital wayfinding, improving lighting, and structural upgrades to better support customer navigation and safety. The scope of the project requires the expert services of an architectural and engineering A&E design firm to fully develop a design package of improvements. Once a final design is approved, a separate construction procurement will go out for solicitation. The A&E design services for the Transit Gallery is expected to be completed in fall 2026. So LBT issued a request for a proposal to 57 firms and received 2 qualified bids. The proposals were evaluated based on the criteria of proposal experience with similar projects, staffing and project organization, technical solutions work plan, and references. Burns Engineering, which has an office in Los Angeles, received the highest score and was found fair and reasonable by LBT's procurement department. So therefore, staff is recommending LBT's Board of Directors to authorize the President and CEO to enter into a contract with Burns Engineering Incorporated for A&E design services for the Transit Gallery Improvement Project in the amount of $400,554 with a 5% contingency of $20,027 for a total authorization amount not to exceed $420,000 to $581. Thank you.
Thank you. Do I hear a motion to approve the recommendation? Is there a second?
Second.
Are there any public comments? Seeing none, I will go discussion from the board. Director Omada?
Just to Director Kemp's question, does this one include marketing components or the potential design? Is that a part of it? Okay.
Director Rawlings?
Thank you, Chair. In light of there not being named or anything, just from my recollection, we had sort of a similar presentation, but it was on the, I believe, the city side a few months back, right? Is this directly related to basically our aspect of what Long Beach Transit components are going to look like?
Yes, so in December, the city came to present on their First Street pedestrian improvement project. And so our projects are coordinated with that project, and in a way, we're going in tandem with that project.
Perfect. Okay, and I assume there will be an update once we have their final output from A Design Services, or kind of what that's going to look like, or has that already been shown to the board?
No, once we get this approved, and or the board will have a working session, so the board could ask for that. Angela has asked for that back when the young lady presented, and I said we will have a session where the board would get put feedback, put input into these people as they're designing. So you hear what they're planning, and then get an opportunity. We will schedule like we did with the COA, same board sometime later. Once this is approved and burn start. That's the intent.
Thank you. And thank you very much, Kim.
Director Anorbe?
Thank you, Chair. Kim, I just have a question about rider. If I missed it, I apologize. Will there be any rider feedback in addition to a board feedback?
We'll work closely with the marketing communications department on outreach.
Okay, because I think I brought this up when the city made their presentation late last year. No one can tell you best other than the writer. Right? So I hope that's a huge consideration as we move forward with these projects. The writer to me is the most important thing, and that makes this organization. So I hope that we consider the writer, their opinions, not only in this, but all projects wherever it's necessary or relevant. Thank you.
Any additional board comments? All right. Call for a vote.
Chair Mejia?
Aye.
Vice Chair Nyorbe?
Aye.
Secretary Treasurer Rawlings?
Aye.
Director Almeida?
Aye.
Director Angeles?
Aye.
Director Kemp?
Aye.
Director Sutton?
Aye.
Great. The motion carries the recommendation to authorize President and CEO to enter into a contract with Burns Engineering for A&E design for Long Beach Transit Gallery improvement projects in the amount of $400,554 with a 5% contingency of $20,027 for a total authorization amount not to exceed $420,581 is approved. Now, Randy Rowland and Pretty George will present agenda item 14.
Wow, different from this side, huh? Okay. Hey, everyone. Good afternoon, Chair Mejia. Mr. McDonald, and all that are assembled here. I'm Director Rawlings, and this afternoon, Pretty and I will be highlighting how Long Beach Transit is integrating artificial intelligence across the organization. Our presentation today is going to show how AI is being very thoughtfully implemented to empower our teammates, to improve communication, and to support more data-driven decision-making throughout Long Beach Transit. So before I jump in, thank you, Jen, I want to be pretty clear about this. This is not about hype or trying to follow trends, and it is not about technology for technology's sake. And it is certainly not just giving everyone access to ChatGPT and saying, have fun, do more work. But this is really about developing a responsible approach as the world changes to leveraging this technology to empower our teammates in ways. Because AI is no longer a future concept. And I know that when we say AI, I know that means a lot of different things to different people. And I just want to set the record straight. What we're talking about today is a practical set of tools, many of which already have existed in Long Beach Transit for quite some time, that we're going to use to strengthen how we operate and how we serve our customers. First, AI is going to help us navigate future uncertainties, from evolving customer expectations and workforce challenges to rapidly changing technological demands. Second, it's going to enable us to build organizational resilience, improving our ability to adapt quickly to disruptions, system changes, and emerging risks. And lastly, it's going to allow us to empower our teammates to do their best work in support of our organizational mission. And taken together, I really believe this work is going to be a strategic enabler for Long Beach Transit's long-term sustainability, operational excellence, and service quality. So I want to give you a quick background. Today, many of our employees spend valuable time on repetitive manual tasks, things that are necessary work, certainly, but not the best use of their very human expertise. Our next step is AI augmentation, where intelligent tools will help automate some of these repetitive processes, reducing the manual workload and helping accelerate routine tasks. I want to be clear that this does not remove people from the process, but it's going to amplify their capacity to focus on higher value activities within the organization, like problem solving, service improvement, and more strategic planning. The result is a new baseline for the way that we work, where AI fluency becomes a core workforce skill, just as computer literacy, having to know how to use Excel, Word, all those programs that we all know and love, I'm sure, became essential a few decades ago. The same thing is happening, and we need to make sure that our teammates are prepared for that. So this evolution will allow us to operate faster, smarter, and with greater consistency, ultimately improving reliability, service quality, and employee experience. And I want to show the opportunity that we have ahead, because I think it's a pretty cool one as a director and also just as a nerd that's into this sort of stuff. We have an opportunity to build a more connected, more secure, and more intelligent environment that transforms how we work and how we deliver our service. So this means developing out systems that allow us to foster seamless collaboration across departments and get rid of all the headache of looking for the right information where and who to talk to monitor and automate threat detection and response. As Ken mentioned earlier, this is a bigger issue than ever, and we're not a tech company. So we need to figure out how to utilize these tools to create this as a core competency within the enterprise. And of course, enable data-driven decision-making. And so in this environment, AI becomes really an engine where our teammates are still behind the wheel, but it's the engine of integration that connects our people, our data, and our mission. And before I hand it over to Pretty, I just want to say thank you actually to some of the executive team. I came to Pretty and Ken a few months back inquiring about the organization's comfort level and understanding of AI. And because in my work, I see teams every single day that rush to incorporate it and don't fully understand how to leverage it, or they fail to identify its purpose within their specific organization. We had several discussions about this throughout the fall where I was able to learn and listen about what we're already doing as an organization, as well as provide some guidance looking forward. And coming out of those chats, I am confident in saying that Long Beach Transit's approach to AI is governed, it is measured, and it is responsible. And the reason why is because we are focused on that intersection of people, process, and our platforms to ensure that our use of AI aligns very strongly with our organizational values and our compliance standards. This governance is going to ensure that we use AI ethically and transparently, that all of our data is protected, secured, and that every single AI initiative supports, not supplants, the incredible work that our human teammates do. This foundation will allow us to embrace innovation confidently while still safeguarding public trust. And I'm excited for Pretty to give you a glimpse of what that looks like today. So with that, I'd like to turn it over to Pretty George, Executive Director and Vice President of Information Technology.
Thank you, Director Rawlings. I'll now share why AI is essential for Long Beach Transit. AI strengthens our people, process, and platforms, enabling us to be smarter, safer, and more efficient in service delivery. It improves service reliability by helping us anticipate and prevent disruptions before it impacts our customers. By reducing routine work and equipping our employees with intelligent tools, AI supports better informed decisions across the organization. It transforms data into actionable insight, allowing leadership to make more strategic and timely choices. AI also strengthens workflows and reduces manual effort, improving an overall operational efficiency. Most importantly, it elevates the customer experience, delivering more responsive, reliable, and connected service. Together, AI is not just a technology initiative, it's a strategic enabler that positions Long Beach Transit to lead in innovation, resilience, and service excellence. So before our smart ecosystem, we examined Long Beach Transit's core business categories because technology must serve the entire organization, not just IT. We designed a layered approach to embed AI across every business function. At the foundation, AI will strengthen asset management and service delivery by improving maintenance, scheduling, and reliability. It will enhance customer service through faster, smarter support. It will empower leadership with data-driven decision-making. It will fortify our IT infrastructure and cybersecurity, and it will streamline internal business operations through intelligent automation. Together, these layers will create a smarter, more connected organization, ultimately delivering an enhanced customer service. At Long Beach Transit, AI is not theoretical. It is already in action, and ensuring a connected, secure, and intelligent organization. I will be discussing 3 use cases in the following slide. The slide highlights how we strategically embed AI across each department's daily operations, turning existing platforms into a unified, intelligent, and connected work environment. Today, AI is being embedded directly into every tool our team already uses, such as SharePoint, Outlook, Teams, Excel, Word, PowerPoint, creating a unified ecosystem powered by Microsoft Copilot. We have launched an initial pilot cohort of 50 employees to test and learn Copilot. Microsoft Copilot assists employees by summarizing meetings and emails, drafting documents, analyzing data, generating reports, and instantly surfacing relevant information. For example, employees are already using Copilot prompts such as summarize the 5 key priorities I need to focus on from my emails this morning, thanks to our CEO. Generate a follow-up email summarizing key decisions and next steps from yesterday's meeting. As a result, teams can now focus not only on higher value activities that directly support service delivery and customer service. This is how we transform information into actionable insight. Security is a top priority at Long Beach Transit, and AI enables us to detect and prevent cyber threats faster and more efficiently than traditional methods. We began applying AI security in 2021, ahead of the mainstream adoption, to strengthen our ability to identify and respond to emerging threats. We first deployed Darktrace to autonomously detect and respond to suspicious activity. We then added SMI Force to identify anomalies and monitor system performance. Most recently, we have implemented Node Zero, which continuously tests our environment for vulnerabilities through AI penetration testing. Together, these systems generate approximately 60 security events per day that warrants our staff to review as part of our continuous monitoring and risk management. To manage this volume efficiently, these platforms continuously learn what is normal within the LBT's environment and flag only meaningful events that indicate potential risk. This allows our team to focus on the highest priority risks that requires active review. Collectively, these tools strengthen our cyber resilience and safeguard our systems, data, and operational continuity. AI is also enhancing operational intelligence at Long Beach Transit, helping us to identify patterns, risks, and opportunities that were previously difficult to detect in real time. Through a 60-day pilot program with Hayden AI, we analyzed over 833 traffic violations across 2 routes, averaging 9 violations per day. This pilot demonstrated how AI can reveal behavioral patterns, improve operational compliance, and enable proactive intervention in real time, turning data again into actionable insight. This slide represents and outlines Long Beach Transit's deliberate and phased path to modernization, a journey we began well before AI became widely accessible. We started with vision and assessment, then built a strong foundation in our infrastructure, data, and security. As AI and cloud technologies emerged, we intentionally pivoted to integrate them into our technology stack. Today, we are entering the transformation phase, enabling enterprise-wide intelligence and a fully modern transit ecosystem. Throughout this journey, we have remained flexible, ensuring that as new technologies become available, we incorporate them into our modernization strategy to continuously advance Long Beach Transit. So when people, process, and platforms come together through AI, we unlock a smarter, safer, and more reliable and a more efficient organization. This, again, as Director Rawlings said, is not technology for technology's sake. It's about empowering our workforce, improving the customer experience. By connecting our systems, equipping our people, and modernizing our platforms, we are positioning Long Beach Transit to lead in innovation, resilience, and service excellence, and to become a connected, reliable, and future-ready transit system. I'll now hand it back to Director Rawlings for closing remarks.
Ready? Before we close our presentation, I just want to say thank you again to Pretty, Jen, Ken, and all of the teammates that helped make this transformation possible. As you can see, this is not some thing where we saw the invention of a chatbot and we're like, yeah, let's pile on. This has been a decade-long plan, and we're now just readying ourselves for what that's going to continue to look like in the future. When I started this discussion with them a few months back, I remember Ken reading his mind and saying, I wanted you to get involved, but not quite that involved. And so I'm very grateful that they let me sit down and be part of this process. Like I said, I've been able to meet them many times throughout the fall to learn more about what our approach is to this, to provide some guidance based on my background, and to collaborate with them on where we need to head as an organization to meet the needs of our teammates. So it's been a great pleasure to work on, and I look forward to my fellow directors' thoughts as it continues to work forward. So with that, thank you again to Chair Mejia, Mr. McDonald, and all assembled here. And we'll now open for some questions.
Thank you so much. Is there any board discussion? Director Angeles?
So in Davos, NVIDIA CEO, Jensen Huang basically indicated that the future as it relates to AI is changing as it relates to blue collar work, even more so. And so the question that I have, and Pretty or whoever, is obviously we have a group of blue collar workers, particularly our mechanics, that are working, and the evolution with respect to how it is you're working on a machine. I know that in our business, in the airline business, that there's a huge sort of void for aircraft maintenance technicians because the bar is getting so high and so complicated, and working in, working on a Tesla is different than working on a 1965 Mustang. So sort of the training aspect of preparing our particular workforce for this transformation, which is, I think, a fear. A lot of the, sort of labor unions that are here, making sure that we keep up with that transformation.
I think I can answer that question. So we are buying battery electric buses. If you sit in a battery electric bus, like sitting in an airplane, it's completely changing. When you open up the engine, I mean the back of the bus, there are no parts in there except boxes of technology. So when you look at these, where we're heading, if we don't get ahead of it and train our employees to be able to deal with those kind of technology that is with us now, we are going to be way behind and not be able to deal with the future. So that's part of what this is. Right now, an employee repairs a bus. You need a computer to go repair the bus. You plug it in, it tells you all the diagnostics, and then you begin to work. We have to be ahead of that and be with that change that is happening to us right now. When we look at charging buses right now, I just had a meeting last week with SCE. SCE is now a fuel supplier to us. They supply fuel every day. If this light went off in this building here, we can all say get up and go home. If we lose the power at the facility, we can't just say the buses don't go out tomorrow. So we have to have plans about how this technology is changing what's happening to us and how are we addressing it. So we started, like Prudy said there years ago, we started our battery electric buses in 2010 when we first started our program, in 2025 now. And this has completely changed where we head as an organization. So we don't have a choice in educating our employees and training them with the tools that are now driving the way we do this.
And I think that includes driving, right? So when you have the driverless, I mean, you have Waymo out there, and you have all these other technology that's already evolving, it's already in transformation. And obviously in aviation, in our business, that's sort of where they're going. I would assume that evolution is also going to hit transit in terms of, buses being able to do different things in order to avoid accidents, what have you. So
yeah, you have driverless vehicles out there right now, and that technology is fast taking over. Where it's going, I think none of us know, but it's something that is present here, and it's here. It's not going backwards. Or you can go out right now, get a Waymo right now, and take you wherever you want to go with no one driving. It does have challenges from time to time, but that technology is out there. I don't know. I can tell where it would go in terms of the transit agent, but a lot of behind the equipment that we're getting have the technology already driving.
Yeah, and if I may add, Director, that's part of what, like, your question is part of what I had in my mind for the last little while working this space every day, at least on the software side. I think when you're talking about whatever driverless bus, whatever the future of that looks like, that I think that's in part another conversation. Absolutely still part of this, but I think the thing that excites me about the work that has been done over the last year in particular is, I think more than ever, it's important for agencies to understand and to have their own set of principles and guiding values on how and why they choose to use certain technology, because what we're talking about today is primarily about software within the enterprise, not necessarily about robotics or a lot of these other aspects that are more related to what you're asking. But the same principles apply, right? If we make sure that our focus is that every piece of technology we decide to use helps our people do their jobs better, not do their job for them. I think it's a very important thing that we define now. And that's part of what makes me proud of the work.
Director Kemp and then Director Norman.
Thank you, Madam Chair. First of all, thank you very much for this presentation. Thank you for your vision as a director to bring this to the folks who are moving the day-to-day here at the operation. And thank you, Pretty, for helping the presentation just really shine. I want to say out the gate that Though I understand that AI is moving rapidly and advancing and it's exciting, um, I have zero interest in having driverless buses at Long Beach Transit. I believe that the drive these buses play a vital role in connecting with our community. And we aren't going to be able to bring a Waymo in here for an employee of the month. And that's my favorite thing outside of Lisa's number. So that's selfish. But that said, I'd like to hear more about if you have answers to it now, and if not, receive it as opinion and guidance for the future. What are we doing with AI in three areas? One, for writers, how are we connecting AI and our app so they have better understanding of where the bus is, when the bus is coming, so that they have a more reliable and better rider experience? That's question one. Question two, how are we using AI to keep our buses safe so that we have some predictability and whatever the AI bots do to keep us safe for the buses? And then three, for the people who work on the buses, are there systems that we can use with AI to ensure that the equipment that's used to maintain the buses, whether it's attached to something or not attached to something, is maintained in a way that's safe for the people who the bus is safe? So those are my questions, and again, my thanks.
So I'd like to make sure some of this is responded to, Jen, as well, because I'll need to work with other groups. But I think one thing I would like to add is that we have been very we've taken our time with each one of our vendors to ensure that we integrate the AI concept. So we're not going and finding new vendors. We're looking at existing vendors, looking how we can work with them. So the tools and technologies we have integrate with AI, because our teams understand the tools we have and we have to push our vendors. So I want to make sure that hopefully that will answer one piece of this question, because that helps people become comfortable with AI specifically. And so I think that's one of the things, and we are looking across, as we had showed on the screen, we're looking across the board through all our providers who provide systems to us today. How do we integrate this slowly, steadily, and meaningfully so that people can learn the tool? Just like we had said, we all learned Word and Excel and PowerPoint over time. We wanted to make this a meaningful transition for our agency and for the people working with us. But for the different areas, we do have different tools in different areas. In transit planning, we have an app that they are using that does calculations, so we can get more information. But I want to be meaningful in my responses back in those three areas, if you don't mind.
I just want to add that we are not looking at any driverless vehicle in Long Beach. I want to make sure that that gets out there. This is all about how we use the tool to help us to do a better job. We have never had a discussion here about what a driverless vehicle would look like or where they're at. So that may happen in the future, but for us now, that's not where our focus is.
Thank you, Chair. Director Rawlings, thank you very much. I'm excited that you're collaborating with staff. And Pretty, thank you very much. I want to thank Director Angeles for his question, and I'm going to piggyback on it and ask something more specific. So is training a component of this transformative initiative that you're sharing?
Absolutely.
Okay. So my question goes to equity. Since we have non-office staff and we have frontline staff, how will the training be rolled out for everyone?
So I think that's a great question. I think, and I want to go back to March of 2024 when you actually approved our EAM as well. This is our opportunity. Like I said, we are bringing new tools and technologies in. So working with those companies now, they're already getting ready for AI. In 24, it was just starting. Now it's moving at a different, at a different pace. 25, I apologize. So I want to make sure that that's why I wanted to bring it. We're working with the organizations. How do you embed this meaningfully so we can teach our members with the tools they have? So when we roll out AAM, there will be opportunity for us to teach them, how is this embedded AI working? Is it giving you the information you're looking? Is there predictive information in there? Our Oracle tool will also teach them that information. So that's how we're going to bring equity across the board. We want to do this meaningfully. And I'm going to say it as an educator myself, it's very important to me that we educate our workforce the right way. So
Thank you. I just don't want custodial to be left behind.
Absolutely.
Okay.
No, and that's why the EAM brings that. That is our enterprise asset management tool. They are going to be working inside that tool. They're going to have to use the newest technologies to work on our campuses.
Thank you.
Any additional board discussion? All right, well, thank you so much, Director Rawlings and Pretty, for this presentation. Moving on. At this time, public comment. I invite people for public comment to address the board any matter that's not appear on the agenda. Do we have any public comment?
Yes, Danny.
Hi, good afternoon. My first time at the board meeting. Good afternoon. Thank you for the opportunity to speak. My name is Danny Hom. I've appreciated the content of this meeting and wanted to leave a brief comment for myself. I am a transit user and a rider. I reside in the city of Cerritos, not far from here, a community that's been well served by the buses Long Beach Transit System in my adulthood. So I'm a rider and a user of services through what you all provide. I stopped here today to urge the staff and the directors in the future to consider extension of existing bus service that is operated by Long Beach Transit to serve the Cerritos Town Center off of Artesia near the 91 freeway. I recently attended an event where I was put on by Long Beach Transit, a small event where I was fortunate to have a brief and professional conversation with a very kind gentleman who works in service planning named Austin Fung, who just advised me of some of the work that the service planning team does here and some things that are potentially in sort of the brain trust of the organization. So I simply, as a rider, would like to voice my wholehearted support for service to the Cerritos Town Center, potentially through line 141 being extended to the east, which is a line that Long Beach Transit ably operates to already serve Cerritos. I appreciate your consideration of what would serve me and my community well, and thank you for the opportunity to speak. That's all.
Thank you so much. Any additional public comment? All right.
Madam Chair?
Oh.
Can I say something?
Yeah.
I was going to ask Mr. CEO, I appreciate the question, Danny. Thank you for coming. I had a conversation earlier, and I wondered if you could give Danny and the public just a brief idea of what the process is for how lines work and what the review process is and what the analysis is. I know we've done an extensive community engagement, but if you could just give Danny and others who are watching a snapshot of kind of what that progress is and what that process is, I'd appreciate it. Thank you.
Yeah. Every 5 to 7 years, most transit agencies, we started doing that, conduct what is called a comprehensive operational analysis, or COA, where you look at the service you provide, get public input, and then try to upgrade the services. We are, as we speak, we are in the throes of our COA, which is an 18-month process, and that drives our long-term planning for the transit agencies and where we go. Part of this, I think, when we look at, let's say, Cerritos or some other city that we are not Long Beach Transit, we have to coordinate with the cities in terms of us going into the cities and where we go. So we may have a good plan, but we go to the city and they don't support it, then we have to figure out how we can deal with that. But that's the process, goes through the comprehensive operation analysis, and we use that as our basis each year to look at the strategic outlook of how the service is expanded or adjusted. That's our continuous looking at service enhancement.
Thank you very much. So it's in the process. You're right on time.
Thank you. And if you did leave your contact with Jen, we'll make sure to follow up. Any board requests? Board? Okay. All right. I adjournment. Do I hear a motion? Oh, yes.
I need to make a comment. I think I've been the CEO in this organization for about 11, going on to 12 years. And Mario, you're the first union guy that stood up here in public and say that we are doing good together. So I think we do a lot of good in the background, but everyone that stands up here always talk about how bad McDonald is and what is he's not doing. I really appreciate you standing up and saying that we are working together to solve the problems for the organization. So thank you all, ATU, and working on that. So thank you for standing up and saying.
Any additional word requests or comments? Since we're in that. Okay. All right. Do I have a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Is there a second? All right. Can I call for a vote?
Chair Mejia,
Aye.
Vice Chair Yorve,
Aye.
Secretary Treasurer Rawlings,
Aye.
Director Almeida,
Aye.
Director Angeles,
Aye.
Director Kemp,
Aye.
Director Sutton.
Aye.
Perfect. The motion carries. The meeting is now adjourned. The next regular meeting will be held on February 26th, 26th on the 2026.